Okay, so in terms of your setup, you said it was good. Just on occasions, on these sort of fewer swings, now we're getting a little bit of alignment to the right, so make sure we are aiming sort of body in parallel to our target and stuff. But the main issue we said about before was the body was swaying laterally off the golf ball, moving quite a long way to the right side, becoming in a position now where the weight's a long way off the back foot. Now to try and then get your body to move back this way, when you were fearful of shots on some holes going low to the left, we just sort of stayed back there not too much. Couldn't really twist through, so when you finish this swing now, that right side hasn't really sort of come through. They're still putting a bit of weight on that back foot. Knees kind of coming through, but there's still more movement there we could possibly get, okay? Compare that to this one here now, okay? See your head, look at the block there behind the thing there, your head sort of staying on there.
Yeah.
A lot more, a lot less sway. It's going to be a little bit of sway. It's not going to completely, obviously, but at least we're staying more on top of the golf ball as we go back. And because of that now, once we're on top of it better, you can just rotate through, clear your body there. Now I would say that right side, look at the right foot now.
Yeah.
If we compare like with like there, for me that lower half is a much more efficient way. Your belt buckle's fully rotated, pointing towards target there. Sorry. So your belt buckle's facing right down there. The legs now and the knees have come together. Your right foot's up on its toe. Okay. So all your weight now has moved on to that left side. It's a more efficient movement with the body, and for me as well, it's a healthier movement. You know where your shoulders are. Your shoulders rotate through sort of 90 degrees pretty much anyway. Okay, your top eye, if we sort of just did just that, barring where the hands are, doesn't look too different, does it, in terms of the body position, okay? But if we go down to there and there, now we've got a big difference. The problem with this left-hand swing is if your shoulders have rotated through 90 and your hips are going through 75, 70, and that's when there's no pressure, I'd hazard a guess on holes where you're feeling a little bit tighter, it's even less. Your spine now is going to be sort of twisted up there. You'll start getting some pain in that lower back if you're not careful. Okay. Because the spine won't be straight again. Your club head speed, you do create a lot of club head speed, which is good. Yeah. If your body's twisting at top half full.
Seems a bit high, my.
High with the
hands.
That's fine. No, if they would have come through more, they would eventually, because you haven't turned through fully, they've got to their sort of limited point. They can't go any further. Okay. If you kept rotating, the hands would sort of continue around this way. They wouldn't continue going up that way. As you can see on this one, like if you turn more, your hands just seem lower. That's all. The more your body rotates, the lower your hands can eventually finish. Okay. If your body stops completely, the hands will have to sort of finish somewhere.
Why would I hit my iron so well then?
I think partly it's a bit more loft on your irons, and again, if you weren't hitting shots left with your irons, and there was no shots coming with the shot, what can sometimes happen is you can have a tee shot on the third, or a hole where left is a problem, and we have a bad swing, and it's pilot error. The problem is human nature in sport or other things like golf. We go, oh, what did I do wrong there? I'll try and change that, and then you try and adjust things, and then that thought sticks in your head. I think as well, because yourself with a iron, you're more over it. A more upright swing is not going to sort of hit many hook shots because you're coming down more on top of the ball. When the ball's out in front of you this way, if you start coming steeper, you're coming over the top, you're smothering it. You've got 10, 11 degree loft for your driver.
Yeah, something like that.
So
I'm not sure. I've had it for a while.
I don't think it's adjustable, is it?
It's a draw.
Yeah, set to a draw. All that means is the club's 2 degrees closed, or weighted in such a way to close the club face up 1 or 2 degrees. It's not a golf club that you will guarantee drawing. Likewise, if one's set for fade or neutral, it will guarantee that shape of shot. All it does is it decreases the amount of spin to the right you may get, or increase the amount of spin to the left you may get. That's all it does. It's about 1 or 2 degrees, depending on the brand and the model and how far it's been tweaked in, that will change the club face. That's all it does. So if someone slices the ball 40 yards to the right and they get a draw bias driver, they're not going to suddenly miraculously suddenly hit a draw. It'll be a 20 yard slice or 25. It just reduces the bat shot. Okay, so the club's being more forgiving. Obviously, the person on the end of it's still going to slice it. Just how much it will slice. Okay, but yeah, in terms of the irons, I think again more loft in your hands. Okay, probably more of an inkling to try and sort of shift onto your left side. And I don't think when you stand with your irons you want it to move so far back off the ball. Sometimes with a driver it's more like a power feed, so get back here and get some power. And then when you're on a hole where you feel comfortable, the first, if you go back and you come back the other way, it kind of works okay. 2 rungs can make it right. But the second on a hole where you just think, oh, I didn't quite like the last one very good on this one, you get back here and sort of freeze and go, oh, stop, and it goes low left. And once you get 2 or 3 in a row on the same tee, then you start walking that tee thinking, oh bloody, here we go again, and it just builds up over time. So that's why I think sometimes certain holes, and there'll be holes you might find in the next year or so that will be just a different hole from what it is now that you don't like. The third hole in a year's time could be one of the best holes, and the first could be a horrible hole. It just how things can sort of change, and mentally, the way your brain acts and so on. You can't always dictate. Oh, massively, okay, because your brain works in such a way. We've got to learn almost how to work our brain better, and that's the problem, I think. But for me, in terms of golf lessons, we can improve people's swings physically to a point, but we're never going to get really any of my golf lessons. I'm never going to get someone swinging the club like Roy McIlroy or Justin Thomas or Dustin Johnson, okay? But I can get them thinking like them. Because mentally, we're all the same in terms of we're human, have a brain. Some maybe a bit more intellectual than others, but in terms of golfing brain, you haven't got to be superhuman intellect to actually understand concepts of, in some ways, to a golf pro, common sense, what to do and where to go and all these sort of things. So you can think better as a golfer. So once you start seeing a few shots going left, okay, we can think, okay, right, rather than keep hitting that club over and over again and getting the same result over and over again, we go, okay, right, for the next club, I'm going to change it to 3-wood. Just get the ball in play, just to get off this hole and get a 5 on the scorecard or a 6 on the scorecard, so I can walk to the 4th tee now without a scorecard that's torn up.
That's right.
Because you can't win a comp on the 3rd hole, can you? But you can lose it.
That's right.
You make a 5 or a 6 or a 7 on the 3rd, you win with a show. You make a 10, you kind of thrown your scorecard out the window. And if you get a couple of low hooky ones going that way, and then you bail out away, right, you could be 3 off the tee, 5 off the tee, and then if you do get one in play, it's not an easy shot to the green anyway. And the mentality of sort of making a mess of it and going, oh, here we go again, you walk into your next shots down that hole frustrated, it compounds the error, okay? But I think setup wise, we say, if we can just get yourself swaying less off the golf ball, it just enables you to move to the left better and get a more efficient downswing, okay? If you're too far on the back foot, if you're under a bit of pressure on the hole, you just stay there and it goes low left on you. So less movement back, and then your body can shift, and that will change, say, your path, get it a bit more neutral to target rather than too far out to win. When you relax, you can sort of hold the club face open, but out here there's no pressure, is there?
No, that's right.
On the 3rd there is pressure, because you build that pressure up. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah,
have a couple more, some more shots and then we'll see.